Hi, Doc. Welcome to this powerful training titled What Every Chiropractor Must Know About Getting Found and Ranking #1 on Google in 2019. How to dominate the world's largest search engine and position your practice as the only logical choice for local residents in your town. I'm your host, Dr. Matthew Loop, and I'm thrilled that you've joined me today. And I'd like to make a special request. Make sure you shut yourself away from all distractions, get out of Facebook, put your phone in another room, and really lock yourself away because this information that many docs are forgetting about due to all the social media craze, this information can transform your practice and 2 to 3x your numbers literally overnight. Google is the #1 search engine and it's where people go. So I'm going to break down the strategies, tactics, and methods that are high leverage for you. And I want you to pay close attention here because, again, this information can dramatically help you this year. Before we get into the presentation, though, I'd like to invite you to download my free Cultural Authority white paper. This basically details 11 professional and elegant ways to earn prestige, instant expert status, and public trust. You can actually go to dcincome.com/blog/authority. Just write that URL down and make sure you go there. This is stuff that we should have been taught in school that we're not, and it's reason why most of the profession is still struggling, fighting tooth and nail to try to hit that tipping point, while a small percentage of doctors have actually overcome the critical mass and are building an amazing brand, credibility, and trust. So download this when you get a second. And before we go any further, I'd like you to save this date, August 17th, 2019. Put this in your calendar. This is the Social Media Revenue Summit that I host every single year. We have 100 spots available as of today. 11 have been claimed by previous attendees. This is an event where we spend the entire day together here in Atlanta. I treat you to a 5-star experience the whole way, roll out the red carpet. We even go to a 5-star steakhouse at the very end of the evening. You're going to learn strategies, tactics, and ideas that'll help you multiply your influence, your impact, and your monthly revenue by using social media. You can learn more about the details and this event at socialmediarevenuesummit.com. So just save that date, August 17th. We spare no expense. This is a premium, and you can see sold out last year. We're going to sell out again, and 5-star experience all the way. So just planting that seed right now. Now, today I'm going to share specifically the 4 most important pillars of Google in 2019 and how to tilt the table in your favor so you have an unfair competitive advantage. You're also going to discover 21 keywords every chiropractor needs to rank well for this year. You'll learn the top SEO factors that determine whether your website will thrive or sink to the bottom of the search like an anchor. You're also going to learn the biggest mistakes and traps to avoid when trying to rank your website #1 on Google for any high traffic keyword, and much more. Like I said, this information is extremely timely, powerful, so please pay close attention and shut yourself away. Here's what it will do for you. It'll show you the most popular and overlooked keywords in your local market you should be ranking well for. It'll help you 3 to 15x the amount of visibility you're currently receiving. So many doctors I speak with, they talk about getting website traffic to their sites, but when I look at the numbers, they're getting so little, and part of that reason why is they're just not ranking well on Google. I'm going to teach you how to fix that today. I'm also going to demystify Google's ranking algorithm once and for all, so it's simplistic and you understand what you need to do. I'm going to help you attract substantially more patients from Google search. Now, you might be thinking, well, my webmaster is already doing this for me, or my chiropractic website company, and maybe they're doing a little bit, but I can guarantee you they're not being as strategic as what you'll discover during this presentation. And if you do even a little bit on top of that, you will exponentially multiply your traffic to your website and potentially the people through your door. If we're not connected, make sure we connect on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. These are the platforms that I'm most active on. If you ever have any questions, you can always message me there. And typically what I do is I post new information that helps you grow quickly, accelerates your learning, so you can actually help more people in the community. After all, that's why we're chiropractors. Yeah, we want to make a great living, but we also want to help as many people as possible. So I'm always sharing with you strategies, tactics, because I keep my finger on the pulse of this stuff. Now, I realize that there may be many on this presentation that might not know about me or who I am, so I don't want to take that for granted. I want to give you the Cliff Notes version and a little bit of a backstory before we really hit today's information hard. My name is Matthew Loop, as I mentioned before. I'm a best-selling author, professional speaker, and chiropractor like you. I graduated from chiropractic school in 2004. It seems like ages ago. These are my two little boys, Ethan and Sebastian. And I speak all over the country. I'm very blessed and fortunate to, any chiropractic event that you've probably heard of, I'm sure I've spoken there and or have trained the influencers that run the organizations or what have you. I've been in this game a long time, since 2005, and I'll share more about my story in a minute, but just know that I'm not some run-of-the-mill Johnny-come-lately that you'll see in your newsfeed. And unfortunately, there's a big attack on the profession right now of people that, they take a course online and now they think they have the expertise to be able to teach you, but they've never been in the trenches themselves. And unfortunately, a lot of docs are getting jaded because of all the bad information out there. So really, really understand, I've been doing this a long time. This is my lovely wife, Todd Sayre. I'm a social media revenue strategist as well, which means I help chiropractors and other companies grow their impact, influence, and monthly revenue, find those hidden profit centers, and really help you become famous in your market so you can help more people, build a very long and sustainable brand, and of course, 3 to 15x your current income. I've trained over 8,200 chiropractors just as clients since 2005, and another 20,000 plus have downloaded my free guides and reports over the years. And of course, I wasn't always successful. Like I said, I graduated from chiropractic school in 2004, and I got out. All I wanted to do was, maybe like you, help people, but the unfortunate reality was I didn't get a lot of business training in school. And I wish I would have had the information in my courses and trainings or in my book, Social Media Made Me Rich, during that time, but just wasn't the case. So I went to the school of hard knocks, and I got to a point where I was so low. I had $1,000 in bills due the following week, $130,000 plus of student loan debt, tried a lot of advertising and gimmicks that didn't work. My credit cards were maxed. It ended up getting to a point where my ex-girlfriend's father had to cut me a check for $2,000 just to float me along. And that's when I started to research, right around that time, books by Robert Cialdini, Psychology, Persuasion and Influence, or E-Myth by Michael Gerber. And it totally shifted my mindset. And right around that time, too, is when a little social network called MySpace came along. Now, if you were on MySpace, just type yes in the chat right now. I'd love to really see that, because I didn't know what I had. I was just on this network 2005, 2006, hanging out with friends, and turns out you could connect with local people in the area by specific interest. This is in social media's embryonic stage, mind you, so that's what I did. I built a network on this, and lo and behold, there was a certain percentage of people that would ask me, hey, you're a chiropractor. Can I come and see you for this? And I ended up building my practice using this, quote, kids network. A lot of professions, they were calling it a kids network, but I knew otherwise because I had a different experience. And so right around that time, as I started to train other doctors on how to use this, my friends initially started asking me, hey, how are you using MySpace, this platform, to grow your practice? I showed them, and they started telling their other chiropractic colleagues and other friends outside of the profession. So what had happened was I accidentally found a career in consulting. And once my quote secondary income got to a point where it overtook my primary practice income, I had to make a decision. I said, I love chiropractic, I love helping patients, but if I could help millions of doctors reach if I could help reach, help thousands of doctors potentially reach millions of patients, I thought that was an amazing thing. So I shifted my focus more toward the consulting element. So again, I've been doing this quite a long time. And I've been fortunate to speak at NASDAQ. I've spoken at Harvard. And so again, I'm not just a Johnny-come-lately like pretty much everything that you're seeing out there these days. Understand, when I've bring something to you, whether it's content in a presentation, it's been proven, it's been tested, and it works exceptionally well. One of the things that social media allows you to do is to connect with influencers, which has happened to me over the years. As I've become well known in not just in the chiropractic space, but a few other industries, naturally you ascend the ladder and you meet other heavy influencers and you connect with celebrities and whatnot, that's where the real power comes in. Because if you can network with influencers, I mean, if you think about it, some of these people with one tweet or one Facebook post could literally cause an explosion and a trend all across the United States of a specific topic. It's mind-boggling. But if you can get chiropractic and your message into those hands and help these people, I tell you what, you're going to grow very, very fast. So again, lots of cool stuff that you can do with social media. Now, if you ever watch the show Shark Tank, it's a great business lessons all the time for chiropractors. This is Mr. Wonderful, Kevin O'Leary. Actually met him at a wine tasting one year and, worked with Usher's New Look Foundation just for a little bit. But so many avenues that you could actually pursue. One of the benefits of social media, again, is just being out there, dialing everything in such a way that you are looked at as a respected authority. So everything that I teach is along those lines. Now, when we get into this presentation, I'm going to start off with the 4 most important Google pillars. You might be familiar with a couple of these. However, I want to share with you some that I think are going to really open your eyes. So the first one is Google AdWords, right? Google AdWords, if you're just new to this, is if I type in Best Orlando Chiropractor, the first 3 listings that you see are ads. Boom, boom, boom. This is above the map. We pay for those. They're called sponsored ads, but Google AdWords is the technical name. And yes, this can be a very lucrative source of new patients. And I would recommend, if you're going to do Google AdWords, strive for at least a 4-to-1 return on your investment. So if you invest $100 in ads or $500 a month, well, you would want to see $400 in return or $2,000 in return based on what you're spending. So strive for at least a 4-to-1 return on investment. These are more expensive than Facebook ads like I teach in my programs, but they can be in a time and place. It's just usually not where I'd recommend you start if you're going to invest a budget. Now, number 2, the second pillar is Google My Business, which you may be familiar with. This is where everything that you see below the map, right? You see these listings, the star ratings. Now, I'm just giving you an example. If you typed in chiropractor, Milton, Georgia, and you see all these listings out there, 18 reviews, 25, 107, 47 reviews. If you were a prospective patient looking for a chiropractor, who would you choose based on this information? Go ahead and type it in the chat right now. Exactly. You're going to choose the doctor with 107 reviews. This just happens to be my client because there is a specific strategy behind getting feedback and reviews. This is a foundation for everything that you do online. It doesn't matter if it's Facebook or YouTube, Instagram, or even AdWords. People are still going to look and Google your name, your practice name to see what others have said about you. And if you have an overwhelming amount of reviews, 2 to 3 times that of your competitors, and you rank on this first page like I teach you, you will be the only logical choice when somebody searches. That's the game right there. So Google Maps, Google My Business is extremely powerful if you have a protocol in place. Now, one of the simple things that you can do with Google Maps is if a patient comes in to your office, you can look them in the eye and you can say, Mrs. Jones, we're thrilled you've noted such great results with chiropractic. Tell you what, we would love your feedback today before you leave. And if you give us your feedback, we have a special gift of appreciation. It's normally valued at $10, but it's just our way of saying thank you for letting us serve you in the community. If this patient does it from their smartphone directly in your office, you know it's going to get done and you will have reviews very, very quickly. Search engine optimization. This is the number 3 pillar that I'm going to talk to you about. Now, this just means that you're getting your website ranked at the top of Google in the organic search. What is the organic search? It's everything that comes up directly after the maps listing. So if you Googled, for example, scoliosis treatment, Buffalo, New York, well, you're going to see the sponsored listings above the map. You'll see the Google Maps listings or the Google My Business, and then you'll see the organic rankings. There is still high value in ranking your website organically at the top of Google. It's a credibility issue, and the reality is that this top listing gets over 50% of all of the clicks when people are searching organic. So it's a heavy amount of search traffic, but you have to know the factors, which I'm going to discuss in just a few minutes. So we have the search engine optimization component. That's the 4th pillar. Can anyone guess the 4th pillar? Any guesses? Here it is. Voice search. Specifically, smart speakers. Now, you might know voice search from, let's say, Siri on your iPhone or Cortana, but smart speakers are on the rise. In fact, Google estimates by 2020, over 50% of all searches are going to come from voice. I want you to think about that. And the reality is, are you currently, as it stands right now, optimizing for voice search? From speaking with so many chiropractors out there, I know that 95% of you are not. This is huge, right? Amazon Echo, Google Home, all of these devices can really impact your practice, especially the way that they bring back the search results. So you got to get familiar with this. Now, I'm going to give you a quick tip here that may make some differences in your mindset and your thinking. So here are 4 major differences between voice and text search that you must know about this year. Number 1 is the length of the query, meaning if you're a potential patient online, if you put on Google, if you texted something or wrote something on your desktop or your phone, you might search Chiropractors Atlanta or Best Chiropractors Atlanta. The difference is, which kind of leads me to number 2, is that many of these searches are going to be with questions. So instead of the best chiropractor in Atlanta, who is the best chiropractor in Atlanta would be a more apt voice search. You see where I'm going with this? Huge implications. Now, the intent is also stronger with voice search. Think about it. If you're actually typing in or saying, who's the best chiropractor in Atlanta? You're committed. Your intent is much higher and you're more likely to take action. Google knows this, so there are major implications for local searches. Major implications. So again, you've got to dial this stuff in. In my flagship training, Social Media Elite, I have a couple powerful tutorials that just speak about voice search because it is extremely timely. And if you don't know this information, you're missing out. I only have a limited amount of time today in this presentation, so I would strongly recommend you review Social Media Elite. I'll discuss more about that later on in this presentation. All right, now let's get into 21 keywords every chiropractor must rank for this year. Chiropractor, your town. Chiropractor, Atlanta. Chiropractors in your town. Your town chiropractor. Your town state abbreviation chiropractor. So Atlanta GA chiropractor as an example. Your town chiropractic. Doctor of chiropractic, city. Chiropractic physician, Boston, for example. Chiropractor near a local landmark. This is where a lot of doctors completely forget about. If you live next to a local landmark, give you an example. In Marietta, Georgia, there is this Big Chicken. It's a Kentucky Fried Chicken, but it literally looks like a big chicken. If you went to Life University, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And everyone references that in terms of location. Hey, that's a mile north from the Big Chicken. So if you were a chiropractor near that area, chiropractor near the Big Chicken would be a very smart keyword to optimize. Your zip code chiropractor, people do zip code searches. Chiropractor, your zip code, just the opposite. Chiropractic, your zip code. Your zip code, chiropractic. Chiropractic offices, zip code. Chiropractic offices in your town. So chiropractic offices, Boston. Atlanta chiropractor reviews, your town chiropractor reviews. People are always searching for feedback. So specialty chiropractor, your town. For example, sports chiropractor in Los Angeles or pediatric chiropractor, Houston, Texas. Dog chiropractor, animal chiropractor, whatever your specialty is, you should own that key term. Not just with your website, but also content. Best chiropractor, your town. Your name reviews. Dr. John Smith reviews. Your practice name reviews. Complete chiropractic care in Boston reviews. Your practice name complaints. This is a big one because when somebody goes online and maybe they file a complaint, so, listen, sometimes things just happen. Maybe somebody has to wait 15 minutes longer in the reception area. Maybe there's a miscommunication over billing. We don't know, but sometimes things will happen and people may post some content. So it would be a smart idea to have your practice rank high or content for these keywords, but the content that you rank is obviously positive, delivers value to the community and such. Your practice name scam. This is another one that you should rank high for. Here's some bonus keywords for you. City chiropractor that accepts insurance. For example, Atlanta chiropractor that accepts Aetna insurance. Chiropractors near me. Now let's get into the 12 most influential SEO factors. These are things that you should know this year because it impacts how you rank your chiropractic website online. And if you do just a little bit extra on some of these, you can propel into the top few spots, potentially number one on Google. And like I said before, you will reap the lion's share of the search traffic. So let's say your searches right now are producing an extra 5 new patients per month, which is, hey, that's great, especially if you're doing not much work to attain those. Well, with some minor tweaks, like I really share with a lot of clients, sometimes we can 2 to 5x that, which is insane just from Google. So sometimes it's those smallest tweaks and adjustments that can make the biggest gains. You know what I'm saying? Page load speed. Let's get off it. Google doesn't rank websites. Google ranks pages. Now, every page on your website should rank very quickly. And there are tools online certainly that you can go and check your page load speed. You can just Google page load speed checker, find some free checkers and see what grade you have. But you should load quick. This is the difference between a lot of sites that rank well and some that don't rank so well. That's a big deal. Voice search optimization. We already spoke about this. Google is placing more weight on factors on your site though. Mobile friendliness. Does your website look good on mobile? This is a great thing for user experience, and Google is all about the user experience. So if they feel that the text is hard to read or it's just not formatted in the new way, they will ding you if you're trying to rank high, and it will cause your rankings to drop. Bounce rate. What this means is that when somebody goes onto your website, how long are they staying? Are they flaking off within the first 30 seconds, or are they staying on your website for an average of a few minutes, 3-5 minutes? The longer they stay on your website, the more pages they traffic, that is a good thing. So bounce rate can be a decisive factor between a website that ranks high and one that doesn't. Relevance is another ranking factor. How relevant are you with your searches? How relevant is your content to the keywords that you're trying to rank for? How relevant are your pages? Google plays the relevance game, so you have to have a meaty website and they have to be relevant on the pages. Links. There's a lot of confusion about links, but I'll tell you, links still matter greatly. It's where you get the links, the type of authority-based properties that you're getting the links from. Links are like votes. If you have more of them than competitors from the right properties that Google deems authority properties, well, you're going to rank higher. It's pure and simple. In my flagship training, Social Media Elite, I show you places to get links and how to use that to your advantage. Linkless mentions. All this means are people mentioning your practice or your name on their websites? And if they are, Google sees that. And the more you are cited in these linkless mentions, that actually factors into your ranking. Now, your website metadata is one factor. Hopefully, you've got a good webmaster that is taking care of this, but you'd be surprised. Does your website metadata, like your meta title, meta description, meta tags, the internal data of the site on each page, is that optimized? If it's not, you can have problems, and that could be a reason why you're not ranking as well. Do you have a working sitemap? This makes it easier for Google to crawl your particular website. Are you producing dynamic, unique, related, and diverse content on a regular basis? Google likes to see a meaty website that consistently has new content generated. That's a big deal. So are you blogging on a consistent basis? Are you creating new pages? If you're not, this is another reason why you potentially don't rank as well as you could and why you've dropped in the rankings. All of these together, like this is a whole dynamic relationship with these factors. If you slack on one, well, you open yourself up to shooting yourself in the foot, essentially, and having competitors be able to overtake you. Publisher authority. Now, once you publish content online all the time, you get a reputation by Google. So Google knows your name, your accounts. Do they know that you're putting out great content, or are you spamming different places? They look at that. This is not a public factor, but they look at your authority and they give you an internal score. So again, are you producing high quality content that gets shared? Social shares, which are another factor, they don't matter as much, but they still do weigh in Google's eyes. Imagine if you would have had these keywords and ranking factors dialed in 6 months ago. If you understood all the pillars that I spoke about, how many more new patients would you passively be attracting from Google every month? How much easier and less stressful would your life be right now? I know for many of you watching, your average case value or lifetime value per patient could be $1,000, could be $5,000. And Google can be a passive source of new patients if certain things are done in a certain way. How much more of an impact in your community would you be making? Because you would be everywhere. How much more money would you be collecting every single month just from Google, not even including social media? These numbers can get staggering. Now, I always give the example in the presentations. I'll use Google Maps for an example. One of my clients wasn't optimizing Google Maps as well, private coaching client. And we got on the phone and was attracting a patient here, a patient there, nothing too crazy. And all of a sudden, Google Maps just dried up. It stopped for a few months. And then through another coaching client, she got referred to me. I started working together with her. And the first thing that I did is I Googled her name and the practice name. And sure enough, a negative review came back on Yelp and Google. We didn't know how much that was costing her, plus her website wasn't ranked really, really high. So we initiated this review getting campaign. And after a couple months, she had right around 25 reviews, I believe it was. And her website started to rank a lot higher. Well, going from practically 0 new patients from Google to getting an extra 2 to 3 calls every single week. Her average case value is between 2,000 and 3,000 per person that walks through her door. So you do the numbers on that. That is a reality, especially if you haven't had all these factors dialed in. That's what you're potentially missing out on. I've seen it happen time and time again. So again, make sure that you really understand and heed this information because it can change your practice life. So mistake to avoid: black hat marketing tactics. I know some of you are probably like, oh man. This means when you're trying to skate around Google's algorithm, when you're trying to find a loophole and go through the back door. Google knows they're not stupid. You might have an opportunity in the short term, but what's going to happen once Google figures that out, closes that loophole, your website is going to be slapped, and it will be very hard for you to get ranked again. So do not use black hat marketing tactics, and make sure your webmaster, whoever you're learning from, doesn't use those tactics. Too good to be true SEO services. People that advertise, I'll rank you at the top of Google within 2 days or within 30 days. Listen, SEO, for the most part, is a long game if you're talking about the SEO element. I've seen websites rank really high, really fast, but I would never feel comfortable promising that to you because it can be a very long game. So be wary of anyone that tries to sell you something on a what I call a get-rich-quick scheme. Inconsistency, this is the kiss of death. You know this when it comes to Google. You have to consistently produce content, consistently get reviews, consistently optimize for voice search related terms, and potentially use AdWords. You've got to do all this stuff, right? Mistake number 4 is not getting started. Now is the perfect time. You don't have to be a tech genius or tech whiz to understand that Google is here to stay, and you want to rank as high as you can to reap the lion's share of the traffic, to be the go-to doctor that people search. Going at it without professional guidance, this is mistake number 5. Yes, you can learn all this stuff yourself. That's not what I'm saying. But do you have 6 months or 2 years to really have your head buried in the SEO journals to figure this out and how to apply it? Do you have all this time, or do you want a shortcut? You make the decision. I'll tell you personally, I've encountered any obstacle or challenge you'll face with social media or Google because I've worked with so many thousands of clients over the years. And again, I have skin in the game too. These are strategies that we've applied for clients, for our properties and whatnot. You don't have to go at it alone and risk getting stuck and having complications. Let me just go over you real fast the pillars of online marketing. I know we really hammered Google today, but all these other things working together, this is where the real power comes in. I have doctors that attract over 100 new patients per month as clients. And of course, those results aren't typical by any means, but that shows you the power of just aligning all of these pillars, Google included. So yeah, you've got the search engine optimization aspect, which we spoke about today. The reputation, social proof management like Google, Maps, or Yelp. You've got the Facebook advertising or pay-per-click. Of course, Google AdWords falls into the pay-per-click advertising too. You've got organic marketing on Facebook, which is just the free stuff that you can consistently use right now, like your check-ins, your groups, etc. Online video, YouTube, or live streaming apps like Facebook Live or Periscope or what have you. All of these, YouTube is one of those platforms that is incredibly powerful because it's the second most visited search engine online, and people would rather watch a video than read a 600-word blog post. You've got blogging and microblogging. Twitter is a great example of a microblogging platform. WordPress on blogging. Photo sharing sites like Pinterest and Instagram. This fits perfectly within the chiropractic demographic. You have news releases and publicity. So are you dialing all these factors in for your practice? If you're not, there's definitely room for growth. And with change comes opportunity. So what type of chiropractor are you? Usually on these presentations, I have a few different types of docs. One, you've seen this information, and for whatever reason, you're not going to do anything with it. I sincerely hope that isn't you, because it's 2019, and we, as a profession, need to start marketing and advertising our practice like it's the year we actually live in. If you agree, say yes. Right? If you look outdated and out of touch, if you don't have an overwhelmingly large presence on Google, it's kind of like the Yellow Pages 20 years ago, where if you weren't in there, people looked at you as suspect. The same thing happens in today's time on social media or Google. People want to see you have a very large presence, or else they're not going to do business with you. It's common sense. Think of your own search habits. Now, the second type of doctor you might be, maybe you've seen this information and Google or social media, that's not going anywhere. It's here to stay. And you want to commit to mastering this because you understand that this is the now and the future. And you want professional guidance so you don't have to make all mistakes and waste tons of money in the process. Now, the third type of doctor you might be, maybe you're already getting some pretty good results with social media. Maybe you're attracting an extra 20 plus new patients already with Google or social, but you're capable of much more. Now, if you're in category 2 or 3, I can definitely help you. And I'd like to introduce you to my flagship training, Social Media Elite. This is a home study course that's instantly downloadable. There are over 60 video tutorials. It was created by a chiropractor and myself, and it works for any type of practice, whether you're a straight chiropractic, personal injury, functional medicine, weight loss, neurology. It doesn't matter. And the training comes with a 6-month money-back guarantee. One new patient from the system more than pays for your initial investment. So it's very, very inexpensive. And like I said, I want to give you plenty of time to get these strategies implemented. You're learning systems that feed your practice for years and years to come. This is not a one and done, fly-by-night postcard drop that you'd reap the benefits for one time. For example, if you dial in Google Maps and you rank really, really high in the 3-pack and you have the most reviews, that will serve you for years to come. I have doctors that consistently just attract 20 plus new patients per month off of their Google My Business or Google Maps listing. It's crazy, but these are systems. That's why it's so high leverage. Now, Alex says, he's like, Matthew, I just wanted to reach out to you and say, I love your stuff and really looking forward to seeing you in the UK at the end of the month. Using just a handful of your strategies in Social Media Elite and Social Media Made Me Rich, my practice has blown up over the past 3 years. For example, in the last 4 to 6 months, we've seen an average of 49 new patients a month, 70% from the internet. And going into the 4th year of business, we are moving into our 3rd premises as we have to keep scaling it up. That is powerful. I love hearing success stories like that. Ricardo says, Social Media Elite is a great course. I've been studying it and applying what Matthew teaches in the course for the last 2.5 months. Now my site is on page 1 of Google. Google Plus, Google Places, and done. YouTube videos are next. Awesome. Dr. Ryan French says, also every day this week somebody called for a new patient appointment from Facebook or YouTube. Unreal. That's now 9 in the last week and a half. Took a bit to get going, but I'm impressed. Here's the deal with social media or Google. Sometimes there is a ramp up time, which is obvious, right? I mean, if you're going to compete with somebody that's been online for 3 years or 10 years, there's going to be a ramp up time. And sometimes that's shorter. In other cases, it's longer. But if you keep working the system little by little, and you're consistent, that snowball is going to turn into an avalanche, guaranteed. Without question, it will. Just follow the principles in Social Media Elite. Donnie says, thank you for the information and your willingness to share it. Since starting just the Facebook stuff, we're getting 2 to 3 new patients per week, and that doesn't include any from organic Google search. We weren't even ranking for Chiro office on the first 5 pages, now number 5 on page 1. Love it. Aaron says, thanks for another great call. You're a really great servant. Anyone that wants to grow their online presence should be using your program. It's been the most valuable program I have ever purchased. Andy says, hey, Matt, we're in the UK, Chiropractors and Osteopathic Center. I've had Social Media Elite from you a few years ago. Thank you. Getting 60 to 100 views per day. Average new patients in the clinic, 60 per month, about 40 per month from the internet. Awesome. Dr. Jay Greenstein says, Matthew Loop's coaching has been truly remarkable. Since working with Matt, we've seen a huge increase in our web presence across multiple platforms, but most importantly, tremendous growth in new patients from the web. In 8 months this year, we've already surpassed 2017 totals. Our new patients from the web are on pace to grow 50% in just 1 year. In hard numbers, that's 422 new clients from the strategies that Matt has taught us. I can't wait to see what's next. Dr. Ryan says, we've been working with Dr. Loop for over 6 months. He's taken us from complete novices to a situation where we can say that we're far more empowered when it comes to online strategies. We've generated thousands of new clients and new relationships using his strategies. And the best part is they're all very doable and massively scalable. Now, Ryan has many clinics, so that's not just one clinic, just to say many clinics there. He says, honestly, we didn't have a clue when we started, and he really did give us the tools, knowledge, mentorship that we needed to get us to the next level with our marketing. Here's what you get in Social Media Elite. You're going to learn about search engine optimization. Like I said, I've included some valuable tutorials in that presentation, not just about the voice search, which is where I'd recommend you start, quite honestly. It's so important. You got to own voice search because 50% of all searches, according to Google, are going to happen via voice by 2020. So definitely start there, but you'll learn everything that you need to scale high and rank number 1 at the top of Google in that course. And I walk you step by step because these are video tutorials. Makes it easy for you. Facebook organic referral marketing strategies. You'll watch me as I show you which are, what are the high leverage methods to implement from Facebook, how you can get more traffic, more visibility from the world's number 1 social network. Facebook advertising with sample ads to swipe. This thing right here is worth, I can't even attach a value to the Facebook ads section because this has been my bread and butter, my God, since 2009-ish, 8 or 9-ish, when first Facebook really started to roll out Facebook ads. There is such a massive opportunity for chiropractors that dial it in. And I'm not just talking about these one and done, super stupid, low positioning, cheap consult offers. That's a very low leverage type stuff. Elegant ways to position your brand at the top of the food chain so you can attract more patients. There are many Facebook ads and types that you should be running. So I go over those with you so you know specifically what to do to position your practice and attract many new patients. I could tell you stories about just Facebook ads. Some of you probably wouldn't even believe me because you can't even comprehend how a doctor's office could, let's say, do 80 new patients in a month with just Facebook advertising. But it's happened. And so I show you ways that you can, of course, do that. Google My Business Marketing, formerly Google Plus, Google Maps. I walk you through step by step so you learn the high leverage ranking factors so you can optimize your Google My Business listing very fast. And I even give you scripts to make it simple so you can ask patients and all that other stuff. YouTube marketing strategies. Again, YouTube is the second largest search engine online. People would rather go there, watch a video than they would to just read a 600-word blog post. And if I had to credit one medium for getting me well known before I had a name, not just in chiropractic or locally or in these other industries, it was YouTube. My videos sucked from 2006, but they're still online because it shows how far that I've progressed. I mean, I always laugh when I say that, but it's true. So you don't have to be perfect. You just have to get it going. Instagram marketing. This is perfect for the chiropractic demographic, and the puck is shifting. Many more people are migrating over to Instagram because it's like Facebook without the whining. There's no political commentary. It's more lighthearted. So you got to know how to use Instagram because this is where things are moving. And I give you tutorials that walk you step by step through the best converting strategies to build your fan base, to grow your practice, and to help more people and make more money. Pinterest. Pinterest is another powerful network with the demographic being like over 70% female between the ages of 25 and 55. So I go into that. Blog marketing, Twitter marketing for doctors. Listen, on Twitter, if you do it right, you could attract patients in a matter of minutes because it's real-time, down to the second conversation. I could literally go right now on Twitter and type in headaches, Atlanta, in their advanced search and find people that are talking. So I show you how to use that to your advantage. Outsourcing and leveraging. If you liked the way that this was presentation was, you're going to like the outsourcing and leveraging because you need to understand certain things as the doctor. However, other things you can certainly delegate. But if you don't have a firm understanding of what's going on first, if you can't measure, you can't improve it. And you're going to get scammed when you start to outsource. I get so many emails. Hey, doc, I tried this Facebook advertising agency. Hey, doc, I tried this SEO company, and they didn't know the basics before they outsourced. And guess what happened? They lost $500,000 that month or whatever it was, and over and over because of ignorance. I believe in delegation. I believe in outsourcing, but you have to do it the smart way, and you have to know what's going on first. That doesn't mean you need to get all techie geeky, but you've got to know certain things. And you get a quick start manual and task list. If you enjoyed how this information was laid out today, you'll like the task list. Now, I will tell you with the quick start manual, don't take it all at once, because if you do, you get overwhelmed. This is just going to give you a 1,000-foot bird's eye view of everything. So, oh yeah, this is what I need to be doing. Will eventually be integrated. But with Social Media Elite, you're going to start with one system and get it in place. Then we can always stack and layer on top and add more layers as we go. Here's what Social Media Elite will do for you. It'll give you a strategy. This is what separates the doctors that attract an extra 5, 10 new patients per month from those that are doing 40 plus new patients per month from social media and Google. It's all in the strategy, period. So I give you strategy that has worked for the busiest offices in the world. I'm going to teach you how to get a lot of traffic locally, right? People from your town. Most doctors, they want to throw their website under the bus too fast, but their traffic numbers are so darn low, they're getting 10 visitors or 20 visitors a day, hardly anything. You need to get tremendous amounts of visitors to the website before you know if it converts or not. So I show you how to pull traffic from all different directions. I teach you how to create this big Parthenon, so in case one pillar goes down, you've still got all these other traffic pillars supporting the structure. And of course, the Social Media Elite shares how to get top Google rankings. There are many ways to achieve this, not just with your website, but also how to rank content online like videos, for example. I share with you all those specific ways that very few chiropractors are harnessing. And you'll also learn how to become a public relations machine that you couldn't turn off even if you wanted to. We have so much power in today's society based on using the internet, so I show you those specific ways. They're going to be high leverage. And of course, more new patients. We're chiropractors. We obviously want to help as many people as we can. So I show you how to maximize the amount of new patients you can attract from social media so you don't leave any money on the table. And you'll learn a set of skills that will pay you for life. This is not a one and done strategy. As I talked about before, you're going to create systems online. And these systems, as that snowball turns into an avalanche, will produce 24/7 for you. That's the beauty of dialing in Google or social media the right way. Now, you might be thinking here, well, I don't have the time to implement this stuff. I don't have an extra 30 minutes a day. But the reality is, most doctors do have 30 minutes a day because they're on the computer that much. All we're doing is turning that time into productive time to market or advertise the practice. That's it. And if you feel you still don't have the time, maybe it's time to reconsider Game of Thrones. It's time to cut out an hour of TV every week. We always get what we prioritize in life, so I don't really want to hear I don't have the time. I also hear another excuse is, oh, I'm not a computer geek. Well, here's the deal. Social media and Google, yes, it's new learning, but it's not like biochemistry and chiropractic school. And we all pass that, so you're fine. I got you covered. I'm going to distill it very, very simply. It's new learning, but it's not rocket science. Professional guidance and mentorship is what this training offers. So this is normally a $597 program, sells every day for that price online, but you're not going to invest that much today on this webinar. And for a limited time, you have the opportunity to save 37%. So you get a $220 discount when you take action now. So for a one-time investment of $377, you're going to receive Social Media Elite and all those 60 video tutorials. And I'm going to throw in $3,288 in free bonuses since you're on this webinar. The first one is a private phone consultation. And quite honestly, I don't know how long I'm going to be able to continue to do this since I've spoken at NASDAQ and Harvard. As you can imagine, my speaking gigs have picked up and I'm more in demand now, which I'm very grateful for. However, I still want to get on the phone and tailor this information to your specific style of practice. That's a $500 value. You're also going to get exclusive access to our members-only Facebook group. I attached a $997 value here, but really that's priceless because you can search through this group and find threads, doctors helping each other, and many different topics where that'll shortcut your learning process. And you've got a community of over 1,500 members that are just committed to helping each other grow very quickly using this stuff. So it's I chime in there a lot. I answer questions. You'll also receive the 365 chiropractic graphics package. This is a $197 value. So if you ever run out of ideas to post on social media, just use one of these graphics and you'll get some engagement and you'll educate your community. I'm also going to throw in the 3-day new patient machine email sequence. If you have a list of prospective patients, you can send this out, and it's really good at taking those people from on the fence, creating urgency, scarcity, and getting them into your office. Also, if you have a list of inactive patients, you can modify this script slightly and use it as a reactivation sequence. I've had doctors reactivate 11 new patients in a matter of 3 days before. That's how powerful this script can be. So that's yours free with your investment in Social Media Elite today as well. You get unlimited email support, so you can email me now. And I have doctors that have been with Social Media Elite since 2006. They still email me, right? And I'm going to answer your question. Now, yeah, I mean, I have to prioritize between my coaching clients, but I still always answer questions. But my response times are usually prompt as well. So again, I got your back. You also get free course updates for life. I don't care. Well, we're never going to release a Social Media Elite 2.0. So once you're in, you're in. And I appreciate the fact that you invest your hard-earned money with me. So I'm going to do everything that I can to over-deliver, to give you value so you can thrive and prosper in this new economy. So I don't charge you for course updates. Anytime I release a new tutorial, I post it in our Facebook group so you get access to it. And that's one of the amazing benefits that you receive that I don't think I've seen any other practitioners or people that are selling trainings do that. Here's what to do next. If you like the idea of attracting an extra 30, 40, or more new patients per month without spending money on traditional advertising and doubling your practice in the next 6 months or less, then click the big orange Add to Cart button that you see on the screen right now. When you click that button, you'll be taken to a checkout page. Just click it once. If you click it twice, what may happen is you might accidentally add a second product to the cart, which means that you would just have to clear your cookies on your computer and then go back to that page, just an FYI. But once you complete that first form on the checkout, on the second page, it will ask you, do you want to pay credit card or with PayPal? You can choose either or. That's up to you, but you're going to get instant access to the trainings after you're in. So you should get an email in the next 15 minutes after you register right now, when you click the big add or orange add to cart button, you should get an email within 15 minutes. If you don't receive it, then I want you to email info@dcincome.com. But more times it's filtered to the junk or the spam or to the bulk folder. So make sure that you check. It'll say congratulations on your investment. That's the title of the email. And info@dcincome.com if you don't receive it. Now, I do get docs that ask me about private coaching, and I do have a couple spots available. If that interests you, that's where we work on the phone every week for 12 weeks. The calls are recorded. This is not for everyone, though. If that interests you, you can certainly email info@dcincome.com. Anna, my associate, can get back to you with more details on that particular training. But again, I'm here to serve you in any way that I can. I want to see you thrive and prosper. So right now, click the big orange add to cart button and complete the form on the checkout. If you have any questions, let me know. I look forward to working with you. And once you're in and you get that welcome email, let's set up a time to get on the phone in the next couple weeks, because I want to help fast track your success, tailor the information to you, because I know that there's so much potential, not just with Google, but with social media. And when you dial all of these things in together, not only can you help many more people in your community, but you can actually make a great living, high 6-7-figure income using just the internet. So again, my name is Dr. Matthew Loop. It was a pleasure having you here today with me. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you on the inside.